Ugh. Bang crash. Hey guys, Jazz in the. Is it still daylight? It is. It is daylight. Oh, you can't see me. Damn it. Your timing really sucks, people. Hi everybody. Oh hell. Okay. ISS. Halo Glow. Jazz Sinclair. Not supposed to be in the dark, but here I am in the dark. Thank you, Kelly Wanderlust, for going to Satanic Wendy's today. You like Satanic Wendy's. Kelly Wanderlust, where are you? You okay? Haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks, anyway. So you got a raise and a promotion, and you just all that? Well, you taking like a month off? As long as you know it's not paid, that's fine. Nobody over here. Nobody fetched this for me. Well, somebody did, but it wasn't you. Okay? What's up, people? I have a question. I've been pondering a few things here and there. See, the jazz man doesn't think about stuff. I ponder. I ruminate, which sounds eerily like the word rheumatiz. I don't have rheumatiz. I don't even know what it is. Except G stand for got the rheumatiz. Elizabeth? Okay, so I've been thinking about stuff. Let's can all the bullshit. Get right to the point, Jazz. You waste too much time. I do, don't I? Luckily, it's your time and not mine. I ain't wasting my time. I'm wasting your time. And so are you. First of all, good to see you. Hello, everybody. It is Skylight Day in the realm, and I was hoping that I made it with actual skylight on me, but no. No, it's getting dark. Question. If you were God, not God, if you were a God, you know, not the God. If you were a God, I'm actually going to take this somewhere. Believe it or not. Hi everybody. I missed you guys, by the way. Yes, I still have a slight fever. Yes, I'm still a little coldy. Yes, it seems to be easing up a little bit and vacating the premises a little bit. I still have it though. So, if I come across all strange and weird, and blame yourselves. Because I'm tired of it already. So, I have a little thought experiment here. Let's assume you are, there is a God among us. Okay? Just assume that. With all the godly powers. Somebody who can actually manipulate matter with their mind. Move things around. Change things from one to another. There was a very good Twilight Zone episode way back when, which was based off of a short story. The short story was by Jerome Bixby. Hi everybody! Short story was by Jerome Bixby. It was called It's a Good Life. And I believe that the Twilight Zone episode was titled the same. It was about a little boy who had those kinds of powers, who had the powers of a god. And so, and he would get angry, and he was a mean little boy. See, that's the problem. He was a mean little boy. And he would do all these horrible things to people, and he'd wish people out into the cornfield is what he did in the episode. And it was really freaky. But let's assume, here's the problem. The problem is you have a god on your hands, right? We've all seen the Star Trek with Charlie X where he's got godly powers. We've all seen Star Trek where Q has godly powers. We've all seen these science fiction stories where there are Stephen King's Carrie, Stephen King's Firestarter. All these people have science fiction type powers. I'm sorry. Godlike powers. The power to write science fiction. The power to do math. Okay. Now, if there was a God among us who could do these things, basically anything. And the old Star Trek had a Trelane also. He was the precursor to Q. But I digress. So there's a God among us. Now, what is my protection against that? What is our protection against that particular God? What could we possibly do to protect ourselves, our loved ones, whatever, from an entity that could do anything, that could make us appear, disappear, set us on fire, throw us out into the cornfield, whatever they wanted to do to us. What would be our protection? We wouldn't have any, would we? No, we wouldn't. This got me thinking. I was watching J-Dreamers. Peace, my brother. Chatting with Matty Ice. Peace, my brother. Good game yesterday against the Seahawks. Matty Ice is also the quarterback of the Atlanta Falcons. And the Flat Earth, Cat Burgled Earth rock star. Anyway, so here we are. We have a God to deal with. How do we protect ourselves? Well, the God is very dangerous to me, is he not? Let me back up a step. The God is very dangerous to me personally, right? Yeah. Let's suppose 20 feet to my right is that dude who has godlike powers. I'm toast, right? Jazz, we're looking at jazz toast. What's that, Mommy? Oh, that's jazz toast. Would you like some with your eggs? That's what we're looking at. Now, there are two ways to be protected from that God. I'm sorry, there are three ways. I just thought of another way. Now, I'm watching J-Dreamers last night, and he was talking to. I'm sorry, Jay, I didn't get all the way through the hangout, but I got about a third of the way through before I just had to go to bed at some point, take care of my fever. And so he was talking about nursery rhymes and things we say before we go to sleep when we're little children. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep, etc. Okay, these are pretty much incantations that they have little children do. Now, one of the really, really effective ways that we would, as a society, deal with such an entity is from a young, from the time that entity was a young child, a toddler even, we would not tell him. And if we had any form of magical powers ourselves, or had the knowledge of how to misdirect his, we could tell him quite simply, every night before you go to bed and every day while you're awake, give your power to somebody else. We didn't even tell him he had any. Give your spirit to somebody else. Give your power to God up there, and give your mortal power to the state, the authority. Give away your power through spells and incantations. We would never acknowledge that he had power. He would never know. We would have him so turned around and spun around that he would never know he had any power at all. And if he ever showed a spark of power, we'd laugh at it, scoff at it, make him feel ridiculous and silly. That's one way that we would protect ourselves from such a creature. Is it not? It would certainly be effective. But in order to reach the point where we could effectively implement such a plan to keep such a creature down, and also, who's to say that we are not gaining energy or harvesting his power by doing so? In order to achieve such a thing, we would first have to get to the point where we had overcome his godly parents and their parents, etc., since the beginning. Had to figure out how to cage them, how to beat them, how to cast spells on them so that they would give their power away to others while allowing us to absorb some of it, if that were what we were able to do, and effectively put that little god in a trap where he never knew it, and if he ever found out, if he ever had any inklings here and there throughout his life, he'd be laughed at, scoffed at. That's silly, ridiculous. It would just be built into the structure. That would be one way. And that brings to mind a war between powers in order to reach that point where one is in control enough to tell toddlers what to do. Because you would have to defeat the unbound gods before that. Somehow. Now, the other way to defeat, to be impervious to God 20 feet to my right, would be, I have no defense against him. As I sit here and chat with you people on the Jazzman set, which I've noticed a lot of people borrowing lately. Peaches just feels free to jump in Jazzman set and do her stuff. I'm only kidding. You're all welcome to my set. Even you, Eon. And Eon, brother, I saw your latest video. I didn't leave a comment, but I saw it. It was good, brother. I'm really enjoying all your stuff. Everybody's stuff. I love it, love it, love it. I've even caught Conspiracy Mystic grabbing my set from time to time. Jaren borrows it. The deal is this. Just bring it back. I don't want to see any prints on it. I don't want to know what happened. That's all. Beyond that, use it. As long as you're using the power for good and not for evil. It's more than I'm doing. Alright. So, I have two ways to defend myself. I'm sorry, I have no defense against this God to my right, who standeth 20 feet to the Jazzman's right hand. Right? Is this right, Miss Kim? Yeah, this way. There's another way that I would be able to be impervious to him, and that were to be if... Oh well. Hey Rory, Bumfizz, check that sentence structure. Did that work? Probably not. His godlike powers would not affect me in the slightest if I too were a god. Correct? If I were a god protected by my own godly power, then his godhood doesn't mean jack shit to me. Go ahead, be your own stupid ass god. I'm God over here. Huh? You gonna throw fireballs at me? Fuck you. Here's some ice balls. You know, we'll do it. Just, you know, you can't fuck with me if I'm God either. That's another way. Oh, but here's an interesting one. What if he was God and he knew it? He was a god and he knew it. And I was a god and I didn't know it. What if I didn't know? What if I was raised as one of these programmed little dweebles? Not weebles. Weebles wobble but don't fall down, but a dweeble. That's a little bit different. That's a dweeble that's already fallen. I'm a fallen weeble. Jesus, Jazz. You sure you don't have... Yeah, I do have a fever. I still have a fever. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to check the camera yet. I'm going to keep yapping for a second. Yeah, what if I didn't know that I was a god? He is, I am, he am, and I is. Watermelon, watermelon, compact car. We ain't as dumb as you think we is. Shut up. This is a family show. Knock that off. Shit. So anyway, fuck. I'll cut that out. I'll edit that out. It's just me kidding around. I'm from New Jersey. What the hell do you want? My God. See? God. My God. He's mine. You can't have him. I think I better check the camera. I'll be right there.